Hi guys, today we're going to talk about the first 6 weeks after the hospital stay. If you didn't see the previous video, I will link it somewhere on the screen. So week 4 here we are, and I've missed a couple of therapy sessions and appointments because I was vomiting from the meds.
Yeah, we had to cancel a couple of visits, except for the nurse visits, and they would always come because we want to make sure everything's okay, to check the vitals, and just to have that connection to a medical professional, at least gave me some peace of mind.
Yeah, I was having more anxiety and more panic attacks, and my pain was really high, and I was throwing up, and I couldn't eat. So week 5 begins with this tarot spread read by my friend who came over to visit me. It's just astounding how accurate it is, showing 10 swords being put down the middle of this person's back. I just thought I'd show this as a little cool thing that happened during my recovery. Yeah. Anyway, back to the video. Alright, so week 5, he needed to go do some things.
Again, I was with you 24/7.
Yeah, he was living in my apartment. I had to be alone for a little bit, and so week 5 is when we started feeling comfortable enough to do that, which was only for 2 hours.
So I had to set you up and make sure everything that you could possibly need for 2 hours was within this kind of a reach.
Yeah.
So some snacks, water, whatever else you would need.
Puzzles. Books and TV remote.
Yeah, just anything that you would need for those.
The computer.
Yeah, because you would not move for the 2 hours. But that was a good sign. I think that the first time that we both agreed that, well, okay, you could be alone for 2 hours was some semblance of things are kind of changing.
But slightly.
Yeah, but that's a big deal when you can say that, okay, you can be alone for 2 hours. Yeah, this 5 weeks is about the time when we started to see tiny little minuscule grains of normalcy coming back, but you gotta take these little things and really acknowledge these little things. And
micro goals are big deals.
Big, huge deals for the motivation, for keeping things positive.
For keeping your eye on the progress.
Yeah, and this is a good point to talk about. One of your exercises was just simply walking.
That was basically my only exercise.
That's all that you could
was walking. I couldn't do anything else besides walk.
Yeah. Yeah, and when your PT did come during this period of time, really all she was doing was giving you the massages.
Yep. To make sure there was still blood flowing.
Yep. And she did give you some, hand putty, so just very gentle little things to just get that moving. And you'd mentioned when we started the video how long your hallway was, 153 feet?
Yep.
So when was it that we started to walk the hallway a little bit? Maybe 3 weeks? Because just taking a lap around the apartment
was a lot. So you start with going a lap around the apartment, or just for a while I could only go couch to bathroom.
Yeah, that was a big deal. And this is you who, previous to the surgery, your job was a barista and in a cafe. And what was the at the height of it, say in the summer months, what was your big step count that you did?
Yeah, my step count usually would be anywhere from 10 to 18,000 steps. 10 to
18,000 steps as a normally functioning human being doing their job. Fast forward.
And I worked full time.
Yeah, fast forward to,
the recovery, and seeing 24 on my phone step counter was wow, I did 24 steps today. Then it would go to 100 steps a day, and then it would go to 150 steps per day. So you have to celebrate those little micro goals of walking all the way down the hallway, because it took us a long time to get to the end of the hallway, because you also have to think about going back to your apartment. So
it really is a big reset. a big
Yes.
reset on everything.
I think one thing to keep in mind while you're integrating back to your daily living, like feeding yourself, going to the bathroom by yourself, various different daily living activities, that physical activities compound. And
add
so
up.
like lifting up your water cup full of water like one time, you can do that, but lifting up your cup of water like 20 times in a day is a lot more painful than just doing it one time. So it's like I really had to think about all of the things that I expended my energy on for the whole entire day, and not to mention the one before it too. Like, did I do more things that day versus this other day? Just kind of planning
Think
where
about
to use my energy.
Exactly. Think about where you want to invest your energy.
Because you don't have a lot of it. You have like zero. So you have about as much to go to the bathroom, pretty much, and a little bit down the hall. Whatever's gonna bring the most to you. Like I used my energy to do my puzzle books, or I used my energy to pet the cats, or something like that. Whatever brings you joy that you can physically make yourself do, even though it is painful. Like even petting my cats was painful, and doing my puzzle books was painful. But I needed to do something that I enjoyed besides watching TV 24/7. Just choose where you want to spend your energy, and if you can have someone else to spend the energy that doesn't serve you, that's very important. So like he can lift up my water for me 50 times a day, so I don't have to use my energy for lifting up my water, because that's not going to serve me as much as doing my puzzle book for my mental health. So
keeping things positive.
So anything that doesn't serve you energy-wise, like have someone help you with those.
Exactly. So I was fortunate enough to be able to take a leave of absence from my work, and somewhat indefinite, although I gave him an approximate time I should be able to come back at this point in time. And so here we are, week 5, and I had, we had all talked about, okay, I'm going to be able to go back to work. We kind of set that goal in our minds previous.
Yeah, so we thought that week 5 was going to be the point, because I did a lot of research, and so we estimated that like you could go back to work around week 6.
Yeah, we should. By week 6 we should be able to. Again, reiterating, what you think is not what's going to be.
Yeah.
So plan accordingly. Overestimate things.
Yes. So we were at week 5, and then you clearly could not go to work.
Right, because you couldn't be alone, and I was the only one who was able to be there for you, in this capacity. So I, again, gratefully, worked with somebody who was able to give me more time off. Yeah, we kicked it out for another
6 weeks.
Another 6 weeks, I think, is what I asked for. And got that. So, this is where not only did we start to see some semblance of returning to daily activities. We mentioned I was able to leave you for a maximum of 2 hours. But also we were really, really, upon our own doing, trying to scale back the pain medications.
Oh yes,
as
that
much
is
as
very
possible,
important.
because that was important. You mentioned earlier that both of us are coming from a natural healing background, and we acknowledge that a major spine surgery, there's nothing homeopathic out there that is going to be able to deal with this pain. So yes, we will accept the prescription medications for this, but let's try to get off these as soon as the pain will allow.
Yeah.
And so week 5 is when we started to say, let's try to taper these down.
And it wasn't even necessarily that my pain was down. It just got to the point where my body got so used to the pain meds that they really weren't doing anything anymore. So I built a tolerance for them.
Yeah. And you had already started to scale back the things, because one of the compromises that the prescribing doctor gave us was he would extend the opiate prescription, but it was going to step down.
Yeah.
So going from, what was it, 40 grams to 20 milligrams to 5 milligrams to whatever.
Okay,
but
yeah.
we'd already done that by breaking them in half.
Yeah.
And so we'd already started to get ahead of them because, like I said, that we just couldn't rely upon them to help anymore. So we took it upon ourselves to already do that, try to get those things out.
So my pain was super high still, and I was also having really, really, really bad headaches with them.
Yeah.
And here's a picture of something that I found that kind of helped my headaches, which is a sack filled with lavender and chamomile, I think, and then some beads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's grain in it, and
yeah.
you put it in the microwave for a minute per side, and it warms it up. So the warm pressure and then the lavender relaxes, and that we were using that guy quite a bit.
And usually it would just make me fall asleep.
Yeah.
Because of the lavender and chamomile and
the warmth
and like the receding of pain. And usually I would take a pain pill with it, so like all of it would usually make me
Another
fall asleep.
good homeopathic headache tip is
peppermint essential oil.
Mhm.
Yes, for headaches.
Yeah.
Put it wherever topically that you have the headaches. So next time we're going to talk about the next 6 weeks. Stay tuned for that, and like and comment and subscribe and do all the YouTube things, and we will see you guys next time. All right, bye-bye.